Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday English Hero. I'm Lucy, your host, and today we have a fantastic episode for you. We're going to talk about something simple, but also really important: how to introduce yourself in English. Now, introductions seem easy, right? Hello, my name is... and that's it. But in reality, people get nervous. They don't know what to say next, or they repeat the same sentence again and again. And sometimes you want to sound friendly, professional, or even a little more interesting, depending on the situation. So, in today's lesson, we'll explore different ways to introduce yourself in English. We'll keep it clear and simple for A2 learners, but also give you ideas to sound more natural and confident as you move toward B1 level. And I'm not alone today. I have a guest with me. He's a teacher, he's a friend, and he's joining us on a Zoom call. Please say hello to Mark.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lucy. I'm really happy to be here with you and with all our listeners.
I'm glad you're here too, Mark. You'll help me today by giving examples, asking questions, and showing how a real introduction can work in different situations.
Exactly. It's like we're practicing together.
Yes, practice together. That's the key. So let's begin. When you introduce yourself, the first step is always the basic facts: your name, where you're from, and maybe where you live now. Let's practice. Mark, can you introduce yourself with just those details?
Sure. My name is Mark. I'm from the UK, but right now I live in Spain.
Great, nice and simple. Did you notice? He used the phrase, my name is, and then added, I'm from. Two very clear, useful patterns. Now I'll do the same. Hello, my name's Lucy. I'm from California and I live in New York. Easy, right? But let's add a little more variety. Instead of just my name is, you can also say, I'm Lucy. My full name is Lucy Carter, but you can just call me Lucy. Hi, I'm Lucy. Nice to meet you. Mark, do you use different versions depending on the situation?
Yes, definitely. If I'm in a classroom or giving a presentation, I'll usually say, my name is Mark. I'm one of your teachers. But if I meet someone at a party, I'll probably say, hey, I'm Mark. Good to meet you.
Exactly. The level of formality changes. That's something important to remember, listeners. You can keep it short and friendly, or a little more detailed and professional. Now, let's talk about age. In English, it's very common to say, I'm 25 years old. But at an intermediate level, you don't always need the full phrase. You can also just say, I'm 25. Mark, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Great, and I'm 28. Now, some people don't like sharing their exact age. That's okay. You can also talk about your stage of life. For example, I'm in my 20s. I'm a student at university. I recently started working. I've been teaching for about 10 years. Mark, how would you say it if you don't want to share your exact age?
I'd probably say, I'm in my early 30s. Or maybe, I've been teaching for more than 10 years now. That gives some information without the exact number.
Exactly. That's a great way to keep it professional, but not too personal. Next, one of the most common questions. What do you do? This can mean your job, or if you don't work, maybe what you study. For example, I'm an English teacher, or I study computer science. Mark, can you give us two examples? One for work and one for studies?
Sure, for work. I'm an English teacher. I work with international students. For studies, I'm studying marketing at university. I'm in my second year.
Perfect. Notice how he gave just a little extra detail. That's important at A2-B1 level. You don't just say, I'm a student. You can add what you study, what year, or why you like it. For example, I study art. I love painting and drawing. It's creative and relaxing for me. Listeners, try to add one or two small details. That makes your introduction more interesting and helps the other person continue the conversation. Another safe and common topic is family. At a basic level, you might say, I have one brother, or I live with my parents. But at intermediate level, you can expand a little. For example, I have two sisters. One is older than me and one is younger. My parents live in another city, but we visit often. I share an apartment with two friends for university. Mark, can you tell us about your family?
Of course. I have one younger brother. He lives in London. My parents still live in the same town where I grew up.
Great. And I'll share mine. I don't have brothers or sisters, but I'm very close to my cousins. My parents live in California, and I visit them during holidays. See how we gave a little extra information? That's how you make your introduction sound more natural and conversational. Now, this part is one of my favorites: hobbies and interests. When someone asks, tell me about yourself, they don't want just facts. They want your personality. So talk about what you enjoy doing. For example, I love reading mystery novels. I play soccer on the weekends. I enjoy cooking new recipes. I'm interested in photography. Mark, what are some of your hobbies?
I really enjoy playing the guitar. I also like hiking. I try to go hiking at least once a month. And recently, I started learning Spanish, which is both a hobby and a challenge.
That's great. And see, learners, Mark used a variety of verbs. I enjoy, I like, I try to, I started learning. That's how you make your answers richer. For me, I love swimming, I like going to the cinema, and I enjoy traveling to new cities. Another way to show personality is to talk about your likes and dislikes. For example, I really like Italian food, especially pasta. I'm not a fan of very spicy dishes. I enjoy comedy movies, but I don't really like horror films. Mark, can you give an example?
Sure, I really love dogs, but I'm not a big fan of cats.
Ha, and I'm the opposite. I love cats, but I also like dogs. See? That creates a small conversation. So when you introduce yourself, try to share something that invites the other person to ask more. Okay, let's put everything together. I'll give you an example of a short, simple introduction and then a longer, more detailed one. Short version: Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm from California and I live in New York. I'm an English teacher. In my free time, I like swimming and watching movies. Longer version: Hello, my name is Lucy Carter. I'm from California, but I've been living in New York for 3 years. I'm an English teacher and I also make podcasts and videos to help people learn English. In my free time, I enjoy swimming, traveling, and going to the cinema. I'm not really a morning person, but I love coffee, so that helps. Mark, can you share your longer introduction?
Of course. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm originally from the UK, but I live in Spain now. I've been teaching English for about 10 years, and I really enjoy working with international students. In my free time, I play guitar, go hiking, and sometimes I write short stories. I love trying different kinds of food, but I don't really enjoy very spicy dishes. And I'm learning Spanish, which is exciting, but sometimes difficult.
Perfect. That's exactly the kind of answer that makes people interested in you. Now, let's think about different situations. You don't always use the same introduction everywhere. For example, in class: Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Brazil. I'm learning English because I want to study abroad. At work, hello, my name is John. I just joined the marketing team. I'm excited to work with you. At a party, hey, I'm Anna. I love music and dancing. What about you? Mark, what's your advice for adapting introductions?
My advice is choose 2 or 3 key details depending on the situation. At work, focus on your job. At a party, focus on hobbies or fun facts. In class, mention your learning goals.
Yes, exactly. You don't need to tell your life story every time. Just share what's relevant. Before we finish, let's give some quick tips for better introductions. Smile and use friendly body language. Even online, your face and voice make a difference.
Keep it short. 2 or 3 sentences is enough for a first impression.
Be ready with extra details. If the person asks more, you can continue.
Practice different versions. One for class, one for work, one for social life.
Use connecting words, for example, and, but, because, so. They make your introduction flow better. Mark, do you want to add one more tip?
Yes, don't worry about mistakes. People don't expect perfect English in introductions. What matters is that you're friendly and open.
Exactly. That's the best advice. All right, let's recap. Today we talked about how to say your name and where you're from, how to talk about your age or stage of life, how to describe your job or studies, how to share a little about family, hobbies, likes, and dislikes, how to adapt your introduction for different situations, and finally, some tips to sound natural and confident. So now, it's your turn. Mark, shall we give them a challenge?
Yes, definitely. Listeners, we want you to write your introduction in the comments below. You can make it short or long, simple or detailed. Just try.
Exactly. Use today's lesson to create your own. Tell me about yourself. And remember, practice makes progress. The more you say it, the easier it becomes. That's all for today's episode of Everyday English Hero. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure. Thanks, Lucy, and thanks to all our listeners.
Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, click like, and share it with anyone who's learning English. It really helps the channel grow. And remember, English isn't just a subject, it's a tool for connecting with people, for sharing your story, for making friends. So go out there and introduce yourself with confidence.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time on Everyday English Hero.